Ladies and gentlemen, I've always opined on this platform that in politics, nothing happens out of mere coincidence. And that everything in politics is normally well planned, well scripted, and executed to achieve a specific political objective. Nothing happens out of mere coincidence in politics. So last week during Jacaranda rally, Raila Odinga revealed that Wafula Chebukati and the two other commissioners, that is Abdi Guliye and Boya Molu, went to his house to seek for bribes. And Raila Odinga threatened to release videos and photos of the three commissioners visiting his house. And he went further and added that they even went to Raphael Tuju, and Raphael Tuju also has the same videos and photos. And he actually dared Wafula Chebukati to deny so that he can go ahead and release those videos.
Hata wale wenzake si bwana Guliye na bwana Boya. Nataka niwaulize hao, mlienda kwa jumba ya baba kufanya nini? Polisi wao walikuja kwangu kufanya nini? Waliomba nini? Waliomba nini? Unajua kama mimi niko na picha yao. Ukicheza mimi nitatoa. Hello? Hello? Bwana Chebukati. Na bwana Guliye. Na bwana Molu. Unajua kama bwana Tuju vile vile ako na runinga. Ako na filamu. Si wakati mnaenda kwa nyumba yake anaweza kutoa na atatoa. Ukweli kidhihiri, uongo ujitenga. Hao ni watu wachafu. Bwana Chebukati ni mtu mchafu. Anatakana apelekwe jela.
That statement by Raila Odinga was actually meant to achieve a specific political objective. And the next day, what happened was that William Ruto responded to Raila Odinga. And he came out defending Wafula Chebukati. And I remember Kenyans wondering when William Ruto became Wafula Chebukati's lawyer. So yesterday, Wafula Chebukati, through Steve Ogollah, issued demand letter to Raila Odinga. In this video, I want us to look at that demand letter and why Wafula Chebukati issued it to Raila Odinga. Before we do that, in case you are watching this video for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is now. Let us get back to the main issue. And by the way, in November, on November 4th, someone inboxed me this. That story about Chebukati asking for payment from Raila to tilt election is a true story. I got it from one of the IEBC commissioners who is a close friend. It's not a rumor. The fallout by the commissioners was basically on how to share the money Ruto gave. I have the numbers. Now, I've remembered about that because this guy came back yesterday after all these things emerged, and he told me, Jatelo, at some point I told you Chebukati visited Raila on election night and demanded money, but you laughed it off. I got the info from one of the Cherera 4. So basically, from Raila Odinga, is that Wafula Chebukati went to his house so as to enable him tilt the results. That did not happen, and that's how William Ruto came and changed everything. And remember, even in William Ruto's own statement in defense of Wafula Chebukati, William Ruto was asking a very specific question. Why the commissioners were invited to Raila Odinga's house? Basically, it's not denying that this gentleman went. But let us look at this particular demand letter. Let me just read it. I'll be analyzing it as we go. So the demand letter is actually addressed to Right Honorable Raila Odinga, Orange House, ODM headquarters, blah, blah. And It's dated yesterday, which was 31st January 2023. Request to furnish with the video footage of alleged visit to your home by former IEBC chairman Mr. Wafula Chebukati, as alluded to by yourself during the Azimio rally at Jacaranda. Now, this is what the letter says. We act for our client, Mr. Wafula Chebukati, the immediate former chairman of IEBC, under whose instructions and authority we write and address you as hereunder. Factual allegation. Our client has placed in our hands a video clip recorded on or about 29th January 2023 during Azimio La Umoja One Kenya Coalition rally at Nairobi's Jacaranda's ground. During the said rally, you made adverse and negative remarks about our client in Kiswahili, loosely translated in the paragraph. Thus, Chebukati said that there are some people who wanted to bribe him, together with his friends Guliye and Molu. I want to ask you, what did you come to do in my house? What did you ask from me? And I have footages for that. You play with me, I will release it. So Raila Odinga is actually, the same lawyer is saying, you play with me, I release it. So Wafula Chebukati, the letter continues. Our client stance response. Our client reacted with shock and contentation at your allegations, which you know too well to be false and malicious. Our client is aggrieved that the said allegations has the unconstitutional purpose and effect of lowering his dignity and injuring his reputation among the right-minded persons in the society. Further, our client is aggrieved that you took no caution or responsibility while making the advance remark, with the consequences that our client has suffered and continues to suffer serious reputational injury, taking into account his status and position as former IEBC chairperson. So Wafula Chebukati is kind of keen on his reputation, and we're going to look at it. In response to your allegations, our client vehemently denies your allegations that he met you during the election year, let alone the election period, and in particular at your house as alleged by yourself. Our instructions. Now, this is the bone, the meat in the bone. In the circumstances of your allegations and in the context our client's strong rebuttal, therefore, our instructions are to demand from you, as of right, which we hereby do, to be furnished with the alleged video footage within 7 days from the date thereof. So basically, the lawyer, Wafula Chebukati, is demanding that Raila Odinga gives him the footages within 7 days. Raila Odinga stated that he's going to release these footages and he never specified the time. So why do you think Wafula Chebukati is preempting and demanding for the footages to be issued to him within 7 days? By the time Wafula Chebukati was writing this letter to Raila Odinga through his lawyer, Raila Odinga was actually out of the country, and he knew so well that Raila Odinga was out of the country, and Raila Odinga might actually take more than 3 or 4 days out of the country, and therefore there's something they want to do within 7 days, and is proceeding. Kindly take note that if you do not receive the video footage demanded herein above within the demand period, we shall be constrained to institute appropriate adverse but lawful proceedings against you. So they are saying if Raila Odinga will not give these footages within the time they want, then Raila Odinga should prepare to be taken to court. I can bet, even if Raila Odinga had intended to release these footages during the Kibera rally, he's not going to do it. He's going to wait for Wafula Chebukati to make those moves. I doubt, because it's known fact, that if Raila Odinga tells you that your wife is pregnant, You just need to go ahead and buy Pampers. I doubt if for the first time, Raila Odinga can actually lie that Wafula Chebukati went to his house and placed some demands. Remember, Raila Odinga is protected. And therefore, you can't rule out the possibility of CCTV footages all over the home. And it proceeds. In so doing, we shall take such necessary action to protect our clan's right to access to information by dint of Article 35, blah, blah, blah of the Constitution without further reference to you whatsoever, holding you liable for cost and any other consequences which may arise therefrom. Now, so basically it means if Raila Odinga will not respond, they'll proceed, go to court, challenge, seek for libel, and in conclusion, this is what they're concluding. We trust that you will find it prudent to furnish us with the alleged video footages in order to preempt the consequences stated herein above. Our office avail itself of this opportunity to renew to you the assurance of its highest consideration. Yours sincerely, for Saroni and Steve's advocate, Steve Ogollah, managing partner. Now, Steve Ogollah is making history already. And let me just give my personal opinion first before I go into the analysis. Steve Ogollah is a lawyer. He has all the constitutional rights to represent anybody, including Wafula Chebukati. He has the right to seek any information from anybody, including Raila Amolo Odinga. But there's also the other question. Why do you think Ahmed Nasir Abdullahi decided to pull out of the presidential petition of 2022? Why do you think he pulled out? So there's nothing which actually compels Steve Ogollah to be the one to write to Raila Amolo Odinga, but it's within his constitutional right, and of course he needs to make that name. Now, why do you think this issue of the video is critical, and why Wafula Chebukati has decided to issue Raila Odinga with the demands? Number one, Wafula Chebukati is keen on his credibility. Wafula Chebukati wants to clear his name. Why do you think Wafula Chebukati wants to clear his name? Because already his name is dented. William Ruto tried to make him a saint. Raila Odinga is saying no. Wafula Chebukati, as we speak today, in the eyes of Kenya Kwanza supporters, in the eyes of UDA supporters, he's a hero. In the eyes of Raila Odinga supporters, he's a devil. And Raila Odinga is taking this fight beyond the borders. Yesterday he was in Nigeria where he gave a speech. If you listen to Raila Odinga's speech in Nigeria, which I'm going to analyze, he was also very clear that the electoral system, not only in Kenya, but in Africa, is being compromised. And he gave example of Kenya. And Raila Odinga's speech actually made headlines in Nigeria because Nigeria is also going for an election in the next few months. So Wafula Chebukati wants to clear his name because William Ruto promised to appoint him a judge. So if his credibility is being questioned and he will be appointed a judge, you can see where the country will be headed to. So that's number one. Number two, if you ask me, there's the hand of Kenya Kwanza in this particular demand letter. Why do I say so? The element, the link between Gladys Sholei and Steve Ogollah. Steve Ogollah went to Rongo the other day where he found a beautiful flower. And finally, the person who represented Steve Ogollah as the mother was none other than Boss Sholei. Steve Ogollah has made his money mostly because of those deals from Sholei. In fact, Steve Ogollah was one, I think, was he part of Wafula Chebukati or IEBC legal team? If you ask me, Kenya Kwanza has a hand in this because they want to achieve certain objective, which is very simple. They want to monitor the reaction of Raila Odinga supporters. So that's the first thing they want to do. How are Raila Odinga supporters going to react if we threaten to take Raila Odinga to court? By now, I'm sure they've gathered that intelligence. Then they're also trying to set up Raila Odinga against Aluo. So you have Aluo representing Wafula Chebukati, because let's say the law firm was owned by a Kalenjin. You know, you'd have said, okay, those are Kalenjins fighting Raila, a Kikuyu fighting Raila. Now you bring a Luo from Siaya. So you set up a brother against a brother. I don't know, but for me, I see Kenya Kwanza hands. The other thing I'm trying to see here is that Kenya Kwanza is actually cornered. These Raila Odinga rallies are giving them sleepless nights. But someone is keen on stopping Raila Odinga from releasing this video. Steve Ogollah is saying that in the next 7 days, if Raila will not respond, that's by next week. If Raila will not release the video to them, then they'll proceed. Where do you think they'll proceed to? They'll proceed to court. And what prayers do you think they'll be seeking from court? The first prayer would be to gag Raila and Omari Odinga from discussing Wafula Chebukati any further in his rallies. The other thing is they're going to gag Raila Odinga from releasing any video or photos of Wafula Chebukati. So someone is keen on trying to gag Raila Amolo Odinga. I don't know whether they're going to succeed. But for me, that's how I'm looking at it. Can you give Steve Ogollah just one advice? Thank you guys, and may you have a good day. Bye-bye.